I became really aware once my children were born about the examples I'd be leading for my children. I didn't want them making the same wrong mistakes and the same decisions that I did. I didn't want them to go to school and be teased about having a mother that was overweight, particularly because their dad isn't. I didn't want them to be bullied at school because they had a fat mum. That was just something that really was just one of those things that would keep me up at night. I would lay in bed thinking about, I'm doing this to my own children. I really think that because people around me were quite gentle in their approach to lose weight, that it wasn't until I physically became fed up with how I felt. I was sick of being put in the corner. I was sick of putting myself in the corner. I was sick of all of those things. That was when it really gave me that push. It had to come from within. I knew that I needed to do something. I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to listen to them. I didn't want to know about it. And it wasn't until I physically became fed up and I couldn't do it anymore and I couldn't pretend that everything was okay, that's when it all came together. And then I tried walking, I tried light and easy, I tried shakes, I tried healthy eating based on what I thought was the right thing to do. And it was when I bought a whole heap of one particular brand of shakes and I started to drink them, and I just remember looking into that cup thinking, is this it? This is what I'm going to have to do? Like, for the rest of my life I'm going to be doing this, because how am I going to get through, and how am I going to lose weight, and how am I going to keep it off? I'm going to be drinking shakes for the rest of my life. When I first started to think about surgical intervention, I was terrified. I was at a point in my life where it was do or die. It was, my children need me to be alive and functional, and if I didn't do anything, that reality was they weren't going to have me. So I was terrified of having surgery to lose weight, and I was terrified of not losing weight and not making any changes. So it was picky terrifying. So I called in the end of September to really get some help, because I was drowning in, I didn't know what to do. I was drowning in, my own struggle with weight loss. It was really, really tough. I didn't realise how morbidly obese I was until where I found out I weighed 172 kilos, that my world just about stopped. It was the most, I don't even have words for how upset and disappointed, and I was almost horrified at how much I weighed. I just vividly remember seeing that number and just feeling like the world had stopped turning. And then I thought, even if I do go ahead with surgical intervention, I've got like 100 kilos to lose. Like, how can I lose 100 kilos and be healthy? Like, is this actually going to work for me? So it was probably one of the rawest moments in my journey, was that at that moment I will never forget, standing on those scales and seeing 172 pop up. I mean, I had to go out and buy scales. That's how in denial I was about it. We didn't even own scales. I was just I didn't want to know about it. So to go and buy the scales, come home and weigh myself was almost traumatic to see that.